For the boys in blue as they try to take this series after snapping a 4-game losing streak. We can exhale a little bit, except for the fact that Corbin Burns is pitching on the other side of the ledger for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's no joke, and the last time he made the Dodgers look fairly silly. So I'm hoping that there is a little bit of energy in the tank offensively after this 10th inning heroics and they get things rolling. They're off on Thursday and then head out East Coast. Tough roadie, Mets and Cleveland Guardians. I almost said Indians, but I didn't. Guardians. So that's a good team. And of course, the Mets are one of the best teams in all of baseball. So at least last time I checked. Are they still up there? I think so. They're a game and a half behind the Phillies, 29-20. So yeah, they're a good team. Dodgers with the win today now are 30-19. Somehow, in spite of a 4-game losing streak, still a game up in the West. Giants are 5-5 over their last 10. They won tonight, and the Padres have lost 4 in a row, dropping 4 of 10. Good win. A win is a win is a win. We'll take it and move on. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate the comments. We can all sleep a little easier tonight. We will talk tomorrow after this series finale right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince, the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast, probably coming up here.
Every game,
It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Usually with a walk-off win, the story of the game is the walk-off. But in this game, the story of the game is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto.
You are Locked On Dodgers, your daily Los Angeles Dodgers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Dodger fans, this is Locked On Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks to our everydayers for making Locked On Dodgers your first listen, and thanks for being here live with us on Tuesday evening. If you are, remember this show is free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube simply by searching for Locked On Dodgers. So please subscribe wherever you're watching or listening right now. If this is your first time with us, I am Jeff Snyder. That's Vince Samperio. Vince and I are both lifelong Dodger fans, just like most of you. We've also both spent time covering the Dodgers in the press box and the locker room. So we bring you the smart fans perspective on our boys in blue every weekday morning. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. And Vince, like I said, the Dodgers won in a walk-off. It wasn't without drama. They could have won it in regulation, but Tanner Scott came in and gave up a game-tying homer in the ninth. We will talk about whether he was the right choice to be in that situation in the second segment. And we'll talk about the decisions the Dodgers are kind of forced to make with their pitching because they are so depleted and who might be coming back and when. We'll dig into that in the third segment. But like I said, the first segment has to be about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He went 7 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs. Absolutely dominant in a game where there's no such thing as a must-win game in May, but the Dodgers had lost 4 in a row. They needed a performance from their starting pitcher. They needed their ace to do ace things, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto said, I am that ace.
They needed a Kershaw, a vintage Kershaw outing, and that's what they got essentially with the 7 innings and 9 strikeouts. And it was exactly what this team needed. Kershaw was known as the stopper back in his days when he was the Dodgers ace. And, Yamamoto has come to be that this year, even though the last couple starts weren't as great as he would have wanted them to be. But yeah, it was not the most efficient. Obviously, I know Dave Roberts was very happy once Ketel Marte got that hit because he wouldn't have to pull a guy out of a no-hitter because there was no way he was going to be able to get through that the rest of that game. But, the 9 strikeouts, it got the job done.
Yeah. Yamamoto set a career high in pitches thrown to get through the 7 innings. And obviously that 7th inning had extra pitches because he did allow a couple base runners, but bore down when he needed to. And just, we talk about it a lot with Yamamoto. The command is so fun to watch. Just watching him dot, and or Hirsch, I was talking about it a little bit during the game that even on a 3-2 pitch, Will Smith is setting his target on the corner. Like, it's not just, okay, just throw us a strike here, Stu, don't walk him. It's you still make your pitch. And he did end up walking 2 guys, Yamamoto did. But, 3 base runners in 7 innings, pretty darn good. And just the confidence that he has in his stuff. The curveball looked awesome tonight. The splitter was solid. The fastball was good. The command was excellent. He is one of the most fun pitchers to watch because of that command, just doing exactly what he wants to do so often.
You go back and look at all the strikeout pitches from this game, and yeah, everything's on the corner. Everything's right below the zone or right in the zone or starts in the zone. It's just so fun to watch. And then, it's one of those things where, yes, you could say this about a lot of pitchers. When they have command, they're very, very good. But I think when Yamamoto has command, he's a top 3 pitcher in the game. I mean, when he can put the ball where he wants to, the way he can move it around, combined with, the velocity that he does have and everything else, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and, at times could be the best pitcher in baseball. And when he's not commanding things, he's still able to go out there and get enough, give you enough. And we've seen that maybe not the last outing, that was 6-3, but the outing before that, not the greatest, but it's still fun to watch when he's going. And yeah, man, this was one of those nights where you wanted to keep seeing him pitch just for the simple fact of it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, after Tanner Scott blew the save, my brother texted me and said, Yamamoto's going to win the Cy Young Award with like 9 wins this year. And, kind of taking the Felix Hernandez route, he's 5-3. Like, it's crazy that Yamamoto is 5-3 with a 1.86 ERA. Best pitcher in the National League. And it's why.
Yeah, I think I saw what his run, the amount of runs he's got was like 2 point something heading into this game, and it went down because he just got 1 run this game.
Yeah, and he's in his starts now. They've scored 8 runs in one game and 9 runs in one game, and this is total in the game. Stephen Nelson was talking about runs scored while he's in the game, which is very important. The stress on him, but 8 runs and 9 runs in 2 games. They won 8-5, and they won his last start against the A's 9-3. But the other games, you just look. Here's Dodgers won 4-1. They won 8-5. They lost 3-2. They won 3-0. Won 3-0. Lost 3-0. Won 2-1. Lost 5-3. Won 9-3. Like, so many times they just aren't scoring many runs for him, and maybe that's also what makes you an ace, I guess. At least for these Dodgers, is not getting run support. We've seen it over the years with Kershaw. We've seen it with Zach Greinke back in the past. We saw it with who was it, Hyun-Jin Ryu a couple years ago that couldn't get run support. It's just and
sometimes it's because you're facing the other team's ace. That was not the case in this game. It was just
early in the season. Sometimes it is. The schedules line up. It's like, oh, he's always going up against the other team's ace. Like you said, this was Ryan Nelson, and the Dodgers were hitting the ball hard. They had like 8 outs that had expected batting average of at least 400 and turned into outs, including one that had an expected batting average of 900. It was an out. A 760 expected batting average double play. There's some bad luck there. And the good news is, because there's no explanation for it, it's not like they decide, oh, we're going to hit worse. With Kershaw, at least, sometimes it was, oh, it's because Austin Barnes is catching, so they have less offense. This is it's just random, fluky, which means they're just as likely, just like they scored 9 runs last time Yamamoto pitched, they're just likely to score 9 runs next time he pitched. But so far this year, it has been rough, but he has been up to the task.
Yeah, and it was one of those where this game, I think with the day off, they do know he's going to get that full extra day of rest that they've had him on at the beginning of the season. And I would imagine that's why they pushed him in. This was the time where, I've been advocating for Roberts to kind of push the starters a little bit, especially considering now what they have and everything else. And that's what they did here. Like, you push him a little bit. Obviously, the no-hitter helped that a little bit, I would imagine. You knew he wasn't going the whole game, but you knew that you could get him to go another inning, and that's what we had here. And it's not always going to work out. Maybe he would have gave up another hit. Maybe he would have gave up another, something else and it would have not worked out. But at this point specific, especially, you got to let guys kind of push that thing a little bit.
And it definitely would have been nice if the offense could have scored a few runs for him, give him a little breathing room. And I'm in an alternate universe, the Dodgers put up 3 runs, not a bunch, but 3. And so the home run that Tanner Scott allows in the 9th inning is meaningless.